the new moon?
In Leo.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that properly.
Stop. Z sent a bunch of memes as like, these are my thoughts in my head right now. And the very last one sent me because it was a star, but it was drawn very poorly, obviously by like a 3-year-old child. Right?
I feel bad for you, son.
Are you paying attention?
Yes, I am. I can hear you.
And it had the words, "Your did it."
Did it?
No,
Your?
just your, like, Y-O-U-R. It's like, you did it, but it said you did it. And it was like a really poorly drawn star. And I don't know why, but it freaking sent me. And it sent me and Brittany. We were laughing so hard. And Z was like, "I'm gonna get it tatted." I was like, "Please do."
That would be
really
iconic.
Fucking stupid
That
tattoo.
would be.
Wait.
I want to get at least one like really stupid tattoo one day.
It came up yesterday. She sent me TikTok. Me too. But it was this guy laughing hysterically because this is for me for the rest of my life.
Was it the pit bull?
That honestly inspired me.
I saw that shit and I was just like, they really did that.
Uh-huh.
That's full commitment.
Yeah.
And this is a new moon, so it's like really.
New me, I am planting my seeds. New moon.
Wow.
New me,
Perfect timing.
new
Right.
energy. New moon, new me, I am planting my seeds. New moon, new me, new energy.
So that's the little clip that's on TikTok. And
What
so it's
a
called New
perfect
Moon for
wo-
Fia
New moon
by Fia. I think it's pronounced Fia. F-I-A.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, what a perfect little intro to start us off as well.
Literally, it's so beautiful.
Because
Whenever I saw that
manifesting
earlier, like
words and thoughts.
it showed that she posted it like a day ago. I'm pretty sure the song's been out from my knowledge because I didn't.
Right.
But she posted it a day ago, but I saw it on More For You page earlier today, and then I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, I should play this like on the new moon. I was like, it's a new moon. I looked it up and I was like, today. I was like, oh, universe, you were like giving that to me.
Yeah.
Thanks. It was really great.
Oh, that's funny. I love it though because that kicks us off for a little topic of thoughts. For
Yeah,
today.
yeah, especially because it sounds about new me. It's like the new concept. A lot of people like we consider. I feel like the average person maybe like gets themselves caught up with their thoughts. Like, is their thoughts them? Like they get lost in that part. So I feel like that's why like when you say like new me, it's referring to a lot mostly to like new like thought patterns because a lot of people identify themselves as their thoughts. So like a new me is this like change and like pattern of how you think.
No, definitely. And it creates a whole new personality if you are conscious of it and you stick with it and you create the habit of those thoughts and those thought processes and catching yourself when you're not being kind to yourself or you're not, having that positive.
It's like whatever thought you just would like that you not have as often or at all.
Right.
So I saw a TikTok earlier. I was like looking at like a few things about like thought, like your patterns or whatever. And she was saying, sorry, I got distracted from my lower back. It went crick and
it's okay. I'm distracted by the fact that I can't breathe. I had an allergy attack right before we started. I had to get my allergy nose spray. I was sneezing like crazy. So if I sound a little off today, guys, that's why. I apologize. But yeah, I am so excited for this new moon, honestly.
Same.
Because everything has been a lot like, we've made some hard decisions and we've been taking a lot of action and, around the full moon 30 days ago, whatever. And now we've just had all these things aligning and happening.
I was about to say the alignment as it gets closer has been crazy. Yeah.
Like chills all over my body. I want to throw
even
up.
as simple things, like I hate to say it, like this is how I be. This is kind of spiritual woo I am, is that I was at work and I'm like pulling out these little containers to put filling stuff in for like this to go order. And I have 4 of them to make. So it's 9 times 4, whatever the fuck it is. I ain't doing the math right now. 9 times 4. I literally just grab the right amount and I start pulling out. It's exactly 36. Exactly 36. And then I was like, wow, that's crazy. I pulled out the tops, exactly 36. I said, bitch, I'm in alignment. I was like,
no, I love when stuff like that happens. I don't know, just like everything falling in place finally with us finding a house, and we'll be able to move in with like within a month and a half.
That's crazy.
That is like, I don't know, just
I thought it'd be like the end of the year.
The weight off of our shoulders, the stress, and then like also the excitement for.
Oh, I bet. I had to look up the area arcs, like you said, and also I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. It's a really cool like area to like. I can't imagine like living there.
I don't know.
And you're like around things.
When we were driving through, I literally Googled. I typed in food. So many places popped up, but not only so many places, but like literally right down the street, there's a vegan deli, and I was like,
"That's what I'm saying." Like, unreal.
Very excited. Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things about that move. But just like everything said, and we're gonna build a sex room. That's
what you were saying.
Oh yeah.
How to Build a Sex Room on Netflix.
If y'all haven't watched that series, you need to go watch it because
I'm mad it's only 1 season.
Me too. Hopefully they come out with more. Like people will probably demand it.
I'm sure people already are.
It'll probably be.
I saw the first episode and I was like, this should have 10 seasons.
You know, I mean, they have the whole house. They have a million house designing shows. Why wouldn't they have?
That's what I'm saying. And now I'm hoping this brackets out like multiple shows
totally
about
see
it.
you doing that.
When I was watching it, I was like, I was sitting there and I was thinking kind of like poking fun at Melanie or whatever, and I was like, I laugh.
I love her. I love her and Mike's really
saying, but I was like, I love her, but she's really just like probably me in the future. Like I was like, this feels so on brand.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I was like, this feels so
100%
on brand.
But I love how it's
Have
also.
You seen the couples on TikTok?
No,
I've seen some of them. One of them said like Netflix paid for those rooms. So they none of the couples paid for that. Netflix paid for those. All you had to do was agree to get on there.
See, I thought I was like, they all got money.
No, that's what I said. I said, where the fuck all these bitches got this money from? No. Netflix paid for it.
Wow,
at least that was one of the girls said that. It's like one of the girls in the first episode.
Netflix, y'all got a lot of money.
Netflix got some. I said, I will talk about it. I will get on the show and talk about it. And that's why I get why they were talking about some shit. So that was their only job.
Look, I will send an email to interview. Like, look, we're moving into a new house for your season 2.
Like New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Oh shit, they could do something in New Orleans.
Oh my god.
They should do a New Orleans like episode. There's a few couples they could definitely do.
Wow.
Anyways, it's great.
But no, wait, okay. I wanted to say I love how the show is like not only about like exploring kinks, pushing boundaries and building these great sex rooms, but also how like some of the couples like just like that one, for example, where they essentially saved their marriage.
Yeah, that one.
To have it because
they didn't have their like space. They didn't have their own like.
Not even they didn't have their own space. Just like they didn't have the time to connect, and like the fact that like he didn't even really know what he was doing. I felt so. I was like,
what made me feel
but like
so
I
bad?
Felt so good for them at the end of it because that sex room, Vegas.
First off, the bathroom was amazing too. Loved the bathroom, but
I hated the color scheme of it, but I loved
the setup. I like
I told Jordan, I said I want black textured walls. He said, bitch, you getting a little crazy. He said black velvet walls, you gotta be.
I mean, it looks cool.
That's what I said. I said I'll pay for it.
Dude, they have some really cool, like they really have some someone gave me like just cool ideas for like because not all of them are really explicit.
I want one of the what's the chair called?
Me too. I don't know what it's called either. I was like,
when I tell you, I will literally have one ordered before we move to this house.
It looks so great. I'm just like, dude, there's so many great things. Honestly, I love how she would incorporate like oh my god, the policemen, their giant shower she made them. It's not giant, probably a couple, but
the policeman. I don't know if we've seen that one yet.
You did because she said y'all in the second to last episode. It's the bald guy and the blonde girl. and they have a kid.
Yeah.
The towel rack
Right,
is
right.
like the,
Okay,
the
I like
dick
that. They're fun.
sculptures.
Yep. No, hate that.
It's
I like
so
this,
tacky, I loved it.
with the queer couple though.
The long distance.
No,
Guys, or-
the female non-binary. I can't remember their names.
Burlesque.
Brody.
Oh my god,
Yes,
I
the
love
burlesque.
them.
No, but oh fuck, what was I oh, they had the like, I don't know, I think they were like hooks or like they were handles, but it was like the female body like stretched out.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I did. Like,
I
they
like
had some-
those.
yeah,
And, like,
I love. I
give me
did
the
really like
visual
their room. It was
pleasers.
very
I've
pretty.
realized that I'm a texture person, and I had no idea. No, stop.
Sorry.
Don't look at me like that. I've also realized how many freaking sensory
Yeah, that's
issues
why I'm just
I
like,
have. I'm like, this is
I love
annoying.
watching like someone get to know themselves because like I didn't get to see it when it was on like me the one doing it, so like it's really amazing to see other people. So I'm like, oh, it did seem that's how it seemed. Because I used to just be like, what the fuck do you mean? Because everyone would be like, duh. Every time I had a realization about myself, and I would be like, y'all thought y'all knew me so well, but I was like, oh, like I get
you
it
just
now.
can't tell.
Yeah, you don't like
anybody. They
see
have
it.
to realize
Yeah,
on their
I'm
own,
just
and
like,
that's the
oh,
annoying part of it
yeah.
sometimes.
People are usually pretty obvious.
Anyways, we gotta get back on track. That show is too good. Go watch it.
Literally too.
But anyways, I was talking about new beginnings, so that sex room is just gonna be a whole new beginning of connecting and pushing boundaries in a different way. So I'm excited for that. Anyways, so thoughts, guys.
Great segue.
Yeah. How much do you think your thoughts influence your reality? I'm asking you guys. I'm asking Saige. I want you to ask yourselves that real quick.
That brings me to this article I was reading earlier on Psychology Today. I'll quote like
Ooh.
I thought it was really cool because it was on Psychology Today, so you know. But they said that how they explain because it was about how our thoughts control our reality, and they were like, I have a lot of like they're like a therapist, and they're like, there's a lot of it's like when you say that a lot of people who don't understand the concept will say, oh, you're like blaming the victim for what they've gone through. It's like no. What they're saying is like you influence things, but you don't influence everything. So how they explained it was that there are 3 buckets in life: the things you control, the things you influence, and the things you have no control over. And it's like that's how I broke down. And I was like,
Whoa.
see.
No,
When I
the
read
more
that, I
I
was like,
think about it, I'm like,
yeah, it's like there's things you can control, there are things you can
I got
influence,
chills.
and there's things you can't control. But you in technicality, like your thoughts control more of your reality than things you don't control. You just don't look at it that way because you're in it,
Right.
And so you don't realize how much of it is like you are controlling tons of it, you are influencing tons of it, and there's tons of things you don't.
Much of it. So like I'll give an example. One time I was heating up some distillate and I leaned the little container over too much because I was trying to scrape it off the side into the little container, and it dripped all down my hands and all on the kitchen counter, and then ran down the cabinet onto the floor. And I was like, and I just paused, and I was like, I'm making a decision right here, right now, to just not react, to just kind of laugh it off, be like, oh my god, can't believe that happened.
You guys like, oh.
And just clean it up. And like it took me like 2 or 3 minutes to clean it up, and like I lost the distillate, so that sucks.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say that's the.
I was like, dang.
In those moments, I like to pretend I'm on a reality show, like that's so Raven. When it's like something inconvenient.
I love that. The example you used. Yes, okay.
like something inconvenient would happen, and then they look into the camera, and they're just like, really, it's like really me, and then they pan to them like taking care of it, and then after they're like, only me. Like in my life feels like a TV show. Like, and so I make that my life where I'm just become super ironic with myself until it's over. And then I'm just like, what have you been doing for the last hour? Like you've been in character this whole time. Like, and then I make fun of myself. Because I'm just like, did you forget that you wasn't on a reality show? Because yes, that's the answer.
I literally just have to catch myself every time, and because that segues into how the video I was watching earlier, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Don't remember the title. You'll have to read that one because I can't read the handwriting.
Why you are the way you are and how to change it.
Okay, so that is a great video. You guys should definitely go check it out. It's on YouTube. But all of your like thoughts, emotions, feelings, behaviors, and all that stuff, it's all programmed so much so because like you've done it so many times that your body knows it better than your brain at that point. That's what a habit is. But like my subconscious patterns of being a reactive human being, it was just so deeply ingrained in me, and I feel like I've been breaking down levels of it. There was like 4 years ago when Brianna was like, oh, you're reactive, and I was like, what? So there was the realization and the awareness of it there.
It's a whole process
And
for
so I've
everything.
just been like, yeah, peeling back the layers of the onion, whatever.
That's why I call my body a biological machine. It makes it easier for me to understand like the habits. It's digestible because I'm like, oh, it's like a computer. It's a machine. It's running the code. And once you learn how to do the code, like obviously I know some coding, I would know that once you set up enough code, you can get it to auto like do when it understands.
So if I can get this like auto of like,
it's like I just gotta undo
pausing and responding to a situation, because I'm ultimately choosing if I want to have a negative or a positive experience, because I could have gotten so pissed off. Like it could have just been such a bad experience.
Could have been like, you know what? Today's over.
Literally, like, today's gonna suck. It could have influenced the rest of my day, but like instead I was just like, oh, that happened. And then like I forgot it happened until I thought of it as an example just now. Like, I was just like, I'll brush it off. It's like I couldn't control that had happened, but I could control my experience after it happened.
Yeah, you can like control how you handle it.
And that's where like your thoughts it's the influencing bucket, where you can influence. You can't control it directly and you don't have zero control over it, but you can influence it a little bit.
Yeah, it's like it's difficult whenever you're stuck in bad negative or whatever like thought patterns. It's difficult to imagine like how what can be different based off of just a thought change. Because like there was times where I was, I used to be a very, very, very negative person, and when people told me you just gotta think more positive, I'd be like, you know what?
Toxic positivity.
Yes, I was like toxic positivity. And I was like, yes, that is a thing. However, all my thoughts were so negative, and it's not that I had the negative thought. It was that I didn't replace the negative thought. Instead of hearing the negative thought and going, yeah, that used to be true, but this is it now. Or yeah, well, let's see what happens this time, or something to back it up. I would just let it run, and so it would just keep repeating that pattern because I didn't disrupt the code to add something new. So the code would just keep repeating because the code will keep repeating until something changes, because that's how it's set up.
Right.
So it's like if you have to like catch it. Like even I was telling Kaylin the other day, she was talking about like, getting in her head about talking to, people, like new people, and she's like, it's just all these old patterns. She's like, and I don't want to hold them to these standards that of these old people that have hurt me, but I don't know how to dissociate from it and not have that thought.
Your own boundary.
Yeah, and I was like, you just have to, when those thoughts come up, catch it and go, I understand why you're thinking that way because of what happened in the past, but this is someone new, so let's see what they're gonna do.
Right.
So it's like you're just retraining where your thought goes next, because if you don't correct it, it's going to keep going negative until you correct it to go, okay, well, what about this?
Yep.
It's like looking at the brighter side.
You have to change the course, change the direction of that thought.
Redirect.
Oh yeah. Well, another little note I had written down was like, if you realize you're having certain negative thoughts surrounding a situation, you can change those set of thoughts by changing your perspective. So it's kind of similar
Life
to what
is
we were
with a
just
perspective.
Yeah,
that brings you to,
you can I don't know, just shift it from, like, let's say you're mad at someone or whatever, you guys got in a fight, both were in the wrong in some way, form, or another, and you're just like, constantly venting and bitching about it, and only focused on what they did and how they made you feel. But if you direct your perspective towards how you made them feel and what you did, and bring that self-awareness to yourself, it's going to completely change those thoughts and those patterns, but it's also
100%.
going to shift your feelings and your emotions.
Life is a weird perspective thing.
Yeah, when you bring that self-awareness into it, you're like, oh, okay, well, I see how, things
Yeah.
got to this point, and I see where, these boundaries were overstepped, whatever.
Mhm.
But changing that can allow you to realize where you've gone wrong and then ultimately make the steps to mending that if you can.
Right. Because I got it's not exactly a thing about perspective, but it's kind of same concept, but it's about
Is that the psychology today?
same article. Love it. I'm just gonna read it directly because I don't want to change anything because I want to try to make it as understandable as they said it. Your thoughts, if you think them over and over and assign truth to them, become beliefs. Beliefs create a cognitive lens through which you interpret the events of your world, and this lens serves as a selective filter through which you sift through the environment for evidence that matches up with what you believe. And that is why your thoughts do influence your reality, because you're looking to back up your beliefs. Your beliefs are just thoughts that you've said
Wow.
are true. And then it was seen as like, it's often referred to as priming, which is the brain's selective filtering system is referred to as like priming your brain to search for different things or whatever.
Mhm.
And it says when the brain is primed by a certain belief to look for something, it shuts down completing neural networks. So you actually have a hard time seeing evidence that are opposite of what exists to your belief. That's why people who are depressed see a more depressing world. It is also why we are so convinced that your view of the world is the truth. What most people don't realize is that you are participating in creating their own version of the truth.
Oh my God. So literally your thoughts creating a reality.
Yes, it's like we're all there in a collective reality, but we all have our selective reality lens.
Right.
And we're all viewing it in that way. And so it's like, that's why like it completely, what you're focusing your thoughts on completely shift what reality you're living in. You're all in the same reality, but it's so fucking different. I will talk to people and I'm just like, yo, that's your what?
That's
like
your
it's like we're in
world,
different.
that's your reality. What?
Yes, like we're in different games.
Oh, I feel that.
We're in different
completely. And
games,
I'm like,
bro.
holy shit. And like that quote is so similar. It segues into like your personality, which is made up of your thoughts that are triggering your emotions, your feelings, your
Mhm.
actions, your habits, your subconscious thoughts, like your hormones. All of that is influenced by your thoughts and all of the interconnected webs in your brain and body. So your personality creates your own personal reality. And like but not personality basically being the combination of personal reality. That's a little
really, like,
too
hitting
tricky
you.
for me.
It looks like they just cut out the real and put it behind like it's really just personality, personal reality. Yep. That's what I'm saying. When I watched the Joe Dispersive video, it was right after I got out of the psych hospital in 2019. And when I watched it and they said your personality creates your personal reality, that was when I said, I'm creating the personality of Saige. I'm going to live as Saige for a few months and see what happens.
Fuck yeah.
And Saige worked. And that's why I tell people all the time, like, I don't mean to just be like, play a character, but in the most genuine way. Let's be real meta. Create the character you want to be and play that character, because it is you. If you're able to create them, like the idea of them is because it's already in you. You can't create something that's already not in you.
Right.
So you're already creating this version of you because it already exists. So act like them and it will become, you will just be them. It sticks. It does. It's very like habits, because a lot of like your personality is your thoughts. And so it's like, obviously, I guess my perspective could be kind of also like confusing because I have DID. So there's like multiple, like it can be really confusing.
I bet it can.
Because there are very different thought patterns and it is very different perspectives of the world depending on what is going on in my mind, which is why I think it was so, once I heard this, it became so apparent to me, because I was like, that makes everything make sense now, because I was like, why is it like I'm playing different games sometimes? Because I was in different personal realities.
Right.
And so it's like, once you like click that, then you're like, okay, well, the average person doesn't have DID. That's cool, you know, because then you're like, all right, let's figure out what we're going to work with, and then kind of show with it.
Right.
And create it.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine the feeling of
feeling like you're in different games.
You're playing different games by the switching of personality.
I can't imagine feeling like you're playing the same game all the time, to be fair. Like sometimes I wish I did. Sometimes I'm like, it would be so much easier if I was playing the same game all the time, because I would advance faster, because I would always playing the same game. Whereas like depending on like the game I'm playing, totally different quests. So like I'm not working on one when I'm playing on the other.
in the past, I felt like I was playing different games because I had like the persona around family and stuff like that, and then like at school and then like around friends. So it was like I literally felt like different people for a while because I had to have this like professional persona at work, but like there was the time where I was like also low key swinging. So it was like, I was like,
very
I'm
opposing
very professional person.
That's what like I have a lot of theories, and they're just theories. So, but the theory, like the biggest difference between like DID and the average person is that DID often comes with the dissociative episodes, and a lot of times that you have periods of not remembering things, and a lot of times it starts from like trauma. But the concept of having different sides of you, everyone understands that concept because everyone has those different versions of them where like, I don't even recognize that person I was. How was that them? How am I this person now? How are they who I am now? It's like, it seems like totally different persons, but it's like, well, that person is in you. That's still you. So it's weird to, look at it that way, but it makes it where it is, I think, because it is easy to understand when you like really think about it like that. It's like, well, yeah, because like I'm sure your reality when you were, doing one job versus the other, like the worlds were very different.
But simultaneously doing them at the same time was just like a weird back and forth, and I was just like,
it's hard
I felt like I was lying and not being authentically myself.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm just so much more authentically myself now instead of
the concept of evolutionary merge. Is what I refer to it because it makes me. That's what I've been going towards. But that's how I think of it. Like, because it's like you bring in. You recognize like all these different like past versions of you and stuff, but you're like, all right, well, that brought us to here, and now this is who I am now. Right. This is the experiences I had, and this is who I used to be, but this is like it. And it's a combination of like all these different versions of you. And when you're growing up, you're really just like, until you're in your somewhere in your 20s, some people even learn that, no shame. You're just playing different characters until one sticks. Let's be real. Everyone's just taking guesses at who they are until they figure out who they are.
Like, don't be down on yourself.
Some people are 10, some people are 40. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, you'll figure it out. And it's okay that you weren't always who you are today. Like, it's okay that you used to be someone that you wouldn't like now. You're like, well, I changed, I grew. So it's like if you don't like them, that's a good thing.
I know the scene phase, like it might, make you cringe, but like you gotta love that part of yourself. She did things for you. She tried, she was like, maybe I like this. No, but ultimately at the end of the day, I think that was like a way to express. Because we were all sad and depressed and wanted to kill ourselves. So like, of course we all wore the black and listened to the screamo music. And like people used to tell me like, are you okay? Like, you must be sad, depressed, whatever, angry, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, like I'm fine. I just like this music, whatever. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my god, babes.
That happened to me when I got out of the psych hospital. I looked at my past playlist. I was like, like, wow, I see where it started. I see where it ended. I see like how you thought you were just
my Spotify
like this music
from last year versus this year, very different.
That's why like some people like laugh because like I listen to different music, but there's a playlist I listen to. Like when I turn on music, it's pretty much every time. And the qualifications for the playlist is that it has to be something that's like positive, like for my subconscious. And people are like, well, don't you like want to just like listen to sad music? I'm like, yeah, sometimes, but like because I know that I like to stem.
It's cultivating.
Well, yeah, it's like I like to stem to music. So sometimes I'm like, I just have it playing and I'm not really consciously listening to it, but subconsciously I am. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't I want it to be so consciously influence me positively? Like once I discovered that how much subconscious influencing like affects the system, the computer, whatever, it's like, well, dude, I'm gonna abuse the shit out of that knowledge. It's the cheat code. If you know that if you show yourself something enough, your subconscious digests it and takes it in. That's a cheat code. You can literally listen to affirmations all the time and it eventually will just click.
Fire.
It's literally a cheat code. Go out there, Sims Motherload, except not Motherload. That was the money one. I wish. I haven't figured out that cheat code. If I ever do, I'll let y'all know.
I'm trying, man. Maybe this podcast pop off here and there.
That's definitely like,
no, it will happen. It can happen.
I'm too young to hit my peak now. You know what I mean?
Oh no. I lost my train of thought.
Thoughts.
I had something cool to say. Thoughts.
Thoughts are nothing like thong, but my brain wanted to categorize them together. So they don't really look the same, but my brain was like, oh, that's thoughts. That's why I was thinking thoughts and thongs. Like THOT.
Yep. You a character. I love you. That was funny. Your brain got stuck on that hardcore.
Yeah, I couldn't
It's
like
okay,
let it
mine does
go.
that. Literally, that was me when I was writing thoughts on this notepad earlier.
That's what made me think of it, because I thought about how you kept looping it. So then I started looping it,
I
and then
couldn't-
that's what happened.
It did not sound like a word after like 3 times saying it.
That's not many.
No, not
3
at all.
strikes
But I
and
had
you're
wrote
out.
it down, and then since I was writing in all caps, I was like,
All caps changes everything.
"Oh God!"
If you write in all caps, nothing looks right.
You know, my mom's handwriting is a combination of capital letters with lowercase letters, but like constantly. So it's just like
I had a
a genuine
period.
true mate.
Oh, that's interesting. I had
Makes
a
me
period
so
of
uncomfortable.
writing really tiny and in all caps and in high school. And my teacher told me I couldn't do that. They related it to a serial killer. That really happened. That really happened.
It's okay.
I was like, I thought it looked like really
neat and pleasing. The
and-
autistic.
Yes,
kid
I
in
was
you
just like, oh, it's so autistic. It's so autistically pleasing. Aesthetically pleasing. It was autistically pleasing too. But
oh my
I thought it was
God.
aesthetically pleasing, and literally got compared to like serial killer. They were like, like serial killers, right? Like in all caps and stuff. And I was like, what did you tell me that for? Like, it was so weird. And they were like, and they told me I couldn't do that because it was English class. But like, I still feel like I was in high school, so it wasn't like we were practicing capital letters. Okay, I knew like
That is hilarious. One time I used to, well, not one time, but for a while, I would practice writing with my left hand. Just
I was at work telling this girl that I've been saying for the past couple years I'm gonna train myself to be ambidextrous.
good luck. It's hard.
But I think it would really benefit me.
That's
in
me
life.
trying to learn both sides of the jujitsu.
That's what I'm saying. Because
move.
look,
I'm
I feel like
uh.
look, if I could ice cakes with both hands, that would be so much easier, and I have less strain on one arm. So I'm like, I'm gonna become ambidextrous. I've been saying that for a long time though, and it's hard.
Look, start walking on all fours. It'll strengthen both of them.
Crickets.
Me and Brittany got out of the habit of doing it. We need to get back in, but we did it for like a solid 2 months, and honestly, like my forearms started getting some like little muscular tone to them. I was like, that's kind of cool, and like muscles in your hands and fingers. I go to jiu-jitsu and people are like, how are your grips so strong? And I was like, I don't know, I did powerlifting. Like maybe it's from that.
You should be like, oh, I'll walk around like a monkey.
They've seen me. I've done it at jiu-jitsu. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, strengthening my grips.
That's how you do that. I need to strengthen my wrists.
You're supposed to press down with your fingers when you.
I think I permanently messed this one up because I tried to break it so many times as a kid.
You should tell that story because why not?
So as a kid, there was a period of time where one of me decided that I was like a science experiment, and so we wanted to like test, and we thought it'd be cool to have a broken wrist for 2 reasons. One, we could observe the healing process from feeling on the inside out, and 2, we could have a cool cast that people could sign.
See, I always wanted a cast that people could sign, but I never wanted to actually.
I tried
break a
long time, and now I don't know if you hear, but well, let me
stop. I heard it without the braces. Oh.
It'll always do that. So I think I permanently fucked her up.
Well,
Fun time. Sprung it a bunch.
Anytime I fell and got hurt, I was like, maybe it's broken. But
You ever? Did you ever get X-rays for it?
No.
Oh, for those a period of time, I made my grandma go to the ER like multiple Fridays in a row to X-ray my wrist. I used to jump. I jumped out of trees, jumped off a trampoline, flipped myself on a hammock.
And how would you land?
Like trying to land on it. I did all kind of shit, bro. Sprung
That's
it a
such
bunch.
an inconvenient thing to break. Like, do you know how much that messes up your like mobility? for the
I'm
rest of your
right-handed.
life?
What was I thinking? Why didn't I do the left arm? One time though, I did. I tried to break my wrist, and I ended up hurting like my pinky, and this finger, and they like wrapped my whole hand up, and it was like the first day or like no, it was like the first couple of months of 3rd grade. Bro, they had this so wrapped up I couldn't write until they took it off like weeks later. So I would just be in class sitting. So maybe it was smart that I did the right one. But I do have I do have issues with my wrist.
I bet you do.
My body, like I just did weird things, you know, to test it. Push it to the limit. Is that the jump? What is it?
I thought that was from High School Musical.
Oh yeah, it is. But Corbin Blue does it, and Corbin Blue's in that jump rope movie. I didn't know his name, so I was trying to.
Ooh, that's good. That was funny.
There's that jump rope movie. There was like 3 in that like couple years apart too. That was weird.
I did enjoy those movies. But
Did you ever jump rope like with people?
Yeah, I wasn't very good at it because of the whole rhythm thing.
I wasn't good at it either. I had a slow reaction time. That wasn't on purpose, but that was an exact example. My reaction time is so slow. TikTok told me I was 68 one time. Because it did like a reaction time, and I was like, no, I kept doing it. It gave me between 40 and 60 every time. I was like, oh my God, I have a bad reaction. It's slow. I was like, it's like, this is why Sam says, like, he's like, how did you not see it? I'm like, how did you see it? I think he has more reaction speed and I don't.
I can see that.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a little delayed with my reactions.
But you also see a bunch of shit we don't see, so there's that too.
I feel like I just try to process too much and then it lags me. My computer's lagged.
That was my thought just now. I was like, maybe you'd be thinking too much.
I'll be lagged. I'm like 2 seconds later, I'm like, wait, it loaded.
Oh, I'll do that, but it's because it's auditory processing disorder. So like,
I don't think
someone will
that.
say something and
It doesn't process.
Well, I'll go, what? And then I'll respond immediately because it'll process while I'm saying what. And then
I hate
and
whenever
Brittany's like, why did you say what? If you
get delayed,
and I'm like, wait, no. I said what before I actually processed what you said.
Sometimes that does happen to me, but a lot of times I'll literally be staring at someone and they talk to me and I'm like, I swear on my life I was listening. But my processor chip was turned off. And I didn't process a singular thing you said. I tell people all the time.
Sounds like you disassociate.
No, I'll be focused on. You know
But
what it is?
Are you focused on?
You
Not what they're saying.
I try to, but here's
You're focused on other things about them.
Yes, but here's the thing. But here's the thing. If I the only
maybe I don't know.
Here's the thing. When I be focusing on people, the only way I can focus on what someone's saying is if I repeat what they're saying in my head the whole time. So imagine every conversation you've ever had. You have to repeat everything they say in your head in order to be able to focus on their words. Like I'm like, I swear I was really trying, but I could not.
I kind of have to too, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like, if I don't repeat back what you said in my head, I did not process it at all. It just goes right out of my ear. I'm just like, it's like I don't have a processor chip. I have a processor, like I have a translator. Questions. She's like in my like ear, and she's like, I went to the bathroom.
Because I have no idea. Question marks. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Go
Maybe
get a hearing test and ask them.
I probably am a little deaf. I was like, I avoided looking for glasses.
That's how I found out that I have CAPD. I got a hearing test, and I was like, everybody tells me I can't hear or I don't listen, and she was like, yeah, you have perfect hearing.
I hear too much, I think.
Like I have really good hearing. I can hear like some of the lowest decibels on the test, and she was like, I can't diagnose you with this, but you should look into this because maybe this is why you're having these experiences. And I was like, holy shit. I can be like,
I should probably go get my ears checked.
Yeah, maybe. Like I can literally have like earphones, like my AirPods in. And if I if I got like loud running water or something, can't hear my music. Like literally. Like
fascinating.
The brain, like I can hear the music, but I can't make out the words.
Okay, so yeah, like
there's running water next to me, and I'm like even looking at you. I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. It sounds like you're underwater. Interesting. It makes no sense, but the brain be doing things. I think it's part of ADHD.
Maybe. It's fascinating.
Yeah. My mom used to always tell me that I have
Selective hearing.
selective hearing.
Every person with ADHD gets told they have selective hearing their entire life. Swear to God. Swear to fucking Christ.
That makes me want to cry.
Like
But
I've
also
heard,
makes me feel
you know, like
good.
I have genuinely met so many people that have diagnosed ADHD and they're adults, and they say like the whole life they were told they have selective hearing, and I'm just like, but like I don't think it's selective. Like I think just sometimes you don't hear it. Like you're not processing what you're hearing. I'm like, I don't think it's like you're like purposely
It's
being
not selective.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like, I
literally
think
the
you're just,
brain not doing the process thing.
yeah,
Brain no work sometimes.
brain go. Sometimes brain go sleep.
I can breathe out of this nostril, but not this one.
To any
One day-
audio listeners,
One day, 100,000 people are gonna hear you do that.
they're gonna hear a lot of
When we
things.
have a lot of viewers, they're gonna be like,
They're gonna hear a lot of things from me. It'll honestly probably only get worse as we do like live streams. Think about that.
"Oh my god,
Live stuff will be spooky because then we can't like we're like, oh, shut it, open my
That's
mouth.
fair.
Bloop.
It's gonna be fun. We'll have to have scripts for those. Not really scripts, but we'll have to have like laid out.
Unless you have a teleprompter, I can't follow no script.
No,
baby.
hell no, I can't. No, you would know I'm reading. Should we tell them about the episode? All right, guys, we have some exciting news for y'all. And we're super excited about it. We're taking the podcast to the next step, next level.
Moving on. No.
And we will be having our very first guest very, very soon here on the podcast. We're not going to announce who it is yet, but we will be putting a little teaser video out within the next 2 weeks about who it's going to be. And yeah, so keep a lookout for media. If you're not following us on Instagram, definitely go do that at the Ethereal Podcast. And
Be very
keep a lookout.
exciting for, I mean, in my opinion, be very exciting for anyone listening, but especially
this
people,
person is
because like especially people that are into like most people that watch us are into like the spiritual realm anyways, but people that are really having the spiritual like realm and that like realm of things, I think would be very excited. We're talking about all kind of fun things that are up that alley and just educating both us and y'all at the same time. So it'll be really fun.
We had an intro Zoom call with this person, and I mean, we were jaw
So excited.
dropped the entire time. It was like I felt like I shouldn't say a word.
Yes, I
was
just wanted to
meant just
listen.
be learning, yeah. So we're gonna at least have to come up with some questions, but I know we already have a million of them.
They're in there, and we'll find them and put them out.
So that'll be really exciting. I expect that episode to really blow up.
Yeah, and we'll have after that at different points we'll have different guests. Like in general, like this is like your first guest of however, like guest, whoever, whenever.
Yeah.
It's just a very exciting new era where sometimes we will be able to have like a guest where we can poke them for like their knowledge and their experiences. So it's not just the experiences we've had, but you can also reference other experiences from other people and stories that they know.
And this person, like, they'll be joining us through a Zoom call, so it'll be even set up a little bit differently. Because they're over in LA. So this is like someone we've never met before that reached out to us through Instagram. So it was like
very exciting,
very surreal.
very exciting,
extremely exciting.
But it'll be a very fun educational video.
Definitely. So make sure to check that one out. And yeah, that's it for today's episode 18 of the Ethereal Podcast. Thank you for joining us, guys. Take care, be well. Set your intentions for the new moon. Yes. And we will see you guys next time. Love and gratitude.